Michigan, TCU, by the numbers. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. We break down the game we all love each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis because of your contribution, your support, your engagement. That's why you need to subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications to know when we go live, which is all over the place, but specifically marked down Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Michigan channel. Wolverines live every Wednesday at 5 Eastern. Okay. I am going to receive comments to this video that say, these numbers are meaningless. They don't mean anything. When they line up on the field, you can throw away all the numbers. Obviously, they're not going to be taking the numbers with them onto the field. Correct. However, these numbers aren't meaningless. Do they mean everything? No. They don't mean everything. Some of these games are played against very inferior foes. So if you played the 130th offense, that's pretty much the same as playing the 103rd rated offense. They both suck, and both of these teams are elite and should be much better to be able to handle and dominate that level of opponent. So yes, the numbers need to be placed in context. Some of these games, some of the numbers come from games played on September 3rd. Others just a couple weeks ago. Some were played with various players and personnel groupings on the field, and others were played with injured players on both sides, for Michigan, for TCU, but also based on their opponents. We know that TCU played a number of backup and third-string quarterbacks throughout the season. So we place it into context, but let's lay out the numbers because they are meaningful. Spoiler alert, the best teams in the country, Michigan, TCU included, Ohio State, Georgia, and others included, USC, Utah, Alabama, they have the best numbers in the country. If you play the best, those produce the best numbers. All the time? No. Most of the time, absolutely. Let's dig into it with Michigan on offense against the TCU defense. The Michigan total offense is number 27 in the country at 453 yards per game. TCU's defense is number 74 in the country, points against, yards against, 385. Okay, how about the Michigan opponents? So this is the Michigan total offense. How strong were the Michigan opponents defensively? Let's look at it. Michigan faced 4 of the top 16 defenses in the country. Are those the 4 top out of 16 defenses for sure? No, of course it's statistics. So it's based on the offenses that they played to a certain extent. But this pretty much tells us that Michigan played for the top defenses in the country to a certain extent. For the top 16, 2, 4, 11, and 16. They also played number 37, 38, 43. So you see 7 games against the top 50 or 6 of the top 51 defensively in the country. Then they played 4 horrendous defenses in numbers 100, 104, 114, 119. Of course, they played a horrendous out-of-conference schedule with Colorado State, UConn, and Hawaii as well. So the average of those defenses that the Michigan offense played in those 13 games, including the Big Ten championship game, number 55 in the country defensively against Michigan's number 27 offense. All right, TCU, number 74 defensively. How good were the offenses that TCU played? The best offense TCU played, number 12 in the country. Number 18, number 23, and 36. Those are some of the Oklahoma offenses, SMU in particular. There you see that TCU's defense played 2 of the top 20 offenses, 6 of the top 40 offenses, and then you see Kansas State listed there twice because TCU played them regular season and Big 12 championship game, and Kansas State was number 43 in the nation. TCU only played one just horrific offense, and that was number 128. That was Colorado. The aggregate of TCU's defensive opponents offensively, number 47 in the country. So put it all together, and what's our estimation on Michigan's offensive effort in this game? Michigan averages 453 in yardage per game offensively. TCU gives up 385. So if Michigan plays, on average, the 55th best defense in the country and TCU's at number 74, we can estimate that Michigan's going to compile about 480 yards of total offense in this game. Let's go to yards per play, because this takes the number of plays, obviously, into account, because a team can grind out effectively but not run up a lot of plays because they don't stop the clock with incomplete passes and passes out of bounds. And therefore, now let's go to one of my favorite statistics, because it is one of the stats in college football and the NFL that is tied mostly to winning, and that's effectiveness in yards per play and yards per play against. Michigan offensively 19th in the country in yards per play. So they're more effective in yards per play than total offense because they don't run that many plays, because they run the ball a lot and keep the clock moving. TCU defensively in yards per play, actually much better than they are in total defense. So yards per play at 5.4, 56th in the nation. Okay, the defenses Michigan faced in compiling the 19th best yards per play, 3 of the top 10 in the country. That's Iowa, Illinois included in that. Then you see 4 of the top 20, 18, 28, 32, 36. A lot of tremendous defenses, with Michigan facing 6 of the top 32 in the country in yards per play. Then it trails off from there, and they faced 3 of the worst in 91, 99, and 125. So if you put it all together, Michigan faced in yards per play the 49th best defense aggregate in the country. TCU's at number 56. Okay, TCU's defense faced these offenses. The number 5 points per play or yards per play offense in the country, Kansas. Number 25, 29, 30. That's 4 of the top 30. You see Kansas State at number 34 because TCU played them twice. The Iowa State and the Colorado offense is awful at 107 and 125. Put it all together, and TCU's defense faced, in total, the number 58 offense in the country in yards per play. Michigan averages 6.59 yards per play. TCU's a little bit better than average. Therefore, we're going to back that number down. And Michigan, it would figure, would compile about 6. Again, Michigan at 6.59 yards per play in 13 games. TCU a little bit better than average, 56 out of 131 teams in yards per play defense. Therefore, let's back down the Michigan number, 6.59 for the season. They should average about 6.4 yards per play in this game. Let's now go to pass efficiency. Let's not go to yardage. We've already looked at the yardage per play and also looked at the yardage per game. Let's look at pass efficiency. This is how effectively you throw the football, both in regards to consistently and explosively. Michigan's number 24 in the nation in pass efficiency at 152.6. TCU defense, ironically, number 24. So the defense not looking good in regards to giving up yardage, but it's difficult to pass against TCU effectively. Teams pass a lot against TCU, but they're not very effective, 24th in the nation. The pass efficiency defenses that Michigan faces, 3 of the top 10 in the nation. Then you see it drop off from there, 31, 34, 41, and they face 3 of the worst, 105, 120, and 125. Put it all together, and pass efficiency defenses that Michigan faced, number 53 in the country. TCU, again, number 24. The offenses that TCU's defense faced, in regards to pass efficiency, not great. If you add it all together, number 63 in the country, but they faced a really good one, number 5, 26-33. There you see Kansas State twice at number 38. And they faced three really bad ones, 103, 105, and 127. Added all together, TCU faced the 63rd pass efficiency offense in the country over the course of 12 games, not 13. We took out Tarleton, a FBS team or an FCS team. Put it all together, TCU faced the 63rd rated pass efficiency passing game Put it all together, and TCU faced the 63rd rated pass efficiency offense in the country in 12 games. Why not 13? We're only doing 12 games for TCU because they faced a FCS opponent in Tarleton, so we only went with the FBS team. So 12 games for TCU, 13 opponents for Michigan. So TCU at number 63 in the country. Add it all together. So Michigan's 24th in the nation in pass efficiency. TCU defensively really good at number 24. Michigan's pass efficiency number at 152 per game. Lower that to 135. After the football game, we'll take these statistics and line them up and see how close we came in terms of our projection of what Michigan and TCU should do against each other in this game. After this game is played, we will put these numbers against the actual game statistics to see how close we came in estimating each team's productivity. Some are going to be dead on, others are going to be way off. We shall see. All right, Michigan scoring offense. 7th in the nation. Even though Michigan's not known for an explosive offense, they score 40 points a game. The defenses they faced are really good. So Michigan's offensive numbers are impressive considering the defenses they faced didn't give up many points. 4 of the top 13 in the nation, 1, 6, 9, and 13. Then it drops off considerably from there. And they face 2 horrendous defenses at number 121 and 123. Put it all together, Michigan faced the 58th rated defense, scoring defense in the country. TCU is the 57th scoring defense in the country. So that's interesting because if you put all of Michigan's opponents together, they're almost exact to TCU's scoring defensive output. The offenses that TCU faced were a little bit better than that, though. 2 in the top 20, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 in the top 40. 8 of the top 40 offenses in the country TCU faced. So the defensive performance by TCU in scoring average, not bad at all, giving up 25 points per game. And they only faced 2 really horrendous offenses. Everybody else was ranked 53rd or better. So put it all together, and TCU faced the 46th rated offense in the country in scoring. And actually, if you look at it, all the games against number 53 or better except 2. So Michigan could have trouble scoring in this game to the extent that they're accustomed to. 40 points per game. If you just look at the defensive ranking, if Michigan faces defenses that are number 58 total and TCU's number 57, and Michigan scores 40 points per game, then they should score 40 points per game. But look at the offenses that TCU is facing. They're all really good. Top 53 in the country except for 2. Therefore, we would expect Michigan to score 35 points in this game. Now let's go to the TCU offense against the Michigan defense, and let's start with total offense against total defense. TCU, number 16 in the nation in total offense at 473 yards produced per game. Michigan, number 3 in the nation in total defense. They only give up 277 yards total offense per game. TCU faced these defenses. Number 7 in the country. Number 50, number 53 twice. That's Kansas State, of course. And there you see the rest of the defenses that TCU faced. They faced 7 horrendous defenses at least. They faced 7 defenses that ranked 100th or worse in the country in total defense. So this Michigan defense that they're going to face is a lot better than that. Now, Michigan didn't face very good offenses. Number 6 in the nation, we know who that is. Then after that, it dropped to 35, 50, 51. There you see Penn State, Maryland. And then Michigan faced, okay, the Michigan defense is really good, but they faced 7 offenses that were number 100 or worse in the country, and 8 worse than number 97 in the country. Put it all together, and Michigan faced the 82nd ranked offense in the country. Therefore, TCU typically generates 473 yards of offense per game. Let's knock that down to 380, somewhere in between 277 and the 473 TCU produces per game in those 12 games. Now let's go to yards per play. TCU number 10 in the country. Michigan's defense number 3 in the country. The offenses TCU faced, 2 of the top 20 at number 10 and 19. There you see Kansas State at number 50. The opposing defenses in yards per play, some really bad ones, 102, 109, 114, and 130. Put it all together, TCU did not face very good defenses. Number 73 in the country when you put it all together. The offenses Michigan faced in yards per play, well, we saw the total offense. The yards per play is going to be something similar, depending on style. 89th in the country when you put all these together. Ohio State's number 2 in yards per play. Then it drops considerably, and Michigan faced, again, 7 offenses that were 109th in the country or worse in yards per play. Add it all up, 89th are the offenses in yards per play that Michigan's defense faced. TCU generates 6.84 yards per play against Michigan. Let's say 6 yards per play against the Wolverines. Let's move it on to pass efficiency. TCU is really good. Max Duggan and company at 163.3. That's number 4 in the country. Michigan's defense, again, pass efficiency, amazing. Number 3 in the country. The defenses TCU faced, not bad. Kansas State in pass efficiency defense, number 15 in the country. TCU faced them twice. Then it drops off a bit, but still 5 games against top 50 pass efficiency defenses and some really bad ones at 92, 95, 98, 108, and 129 added all together. TCU is facing the added all together, and TCU is facing the number 67 pass efficiency defense in the country. Michigan shut teams down, passing the football, number 3 in the country. But how good were those teams throwing the football? We know Ohio State was really good, maybe the best. Maryland's in there as well. Penn State, effective, decent. Purdue, very good usually, but not as good this year as they have been, despite winning the Big Ten West. There's Ohio State at number 2. Then it drops off considerably. Purdue did not have a great passing season up to their standards, and Penn State did not either. So if you put it all together, and Michigan faced some horrendous pass offenses, number 117, 22, 23, 25, and 29. So that's 5 of the worst 14 pass offenses in the country. So put it all together, and Michigan faced the 87th rated pass efficiency offense in the country. So if TCU typically churns out a 163 rating through the air, that number is going to go to 145 in this game. Let's look at points on the scoreboard. That's what matters. All these other stats put together drive toward the point total, of course. And for TCU, they're the 6th scoring offense in the country at right about where Michigan is, 40.3. The Michigan defense, number 5 in the country, giving up 13 plus points per game. The opposing defenses that TCU faced, pretty good. Kansas State, number 17 in the country, faced them twice, and TCU, of course, scored 38 in the win. They scored 28 in the Big 12 championship loss. TCU faced 4 of the top 30 scoring defenses in the country. Then it drops off considerably, and they faced all those bad scoring defenses, 93 on. That's Oklahoma's in there, Texas Tech's in there, Colorado's in there, and others, West Virginia. So TCU faced, when you put it all together, the 70th scoring defense in the country for them offensively. Michigan's defense, phenomenal, of course. Did they face strong offenses in terms of scoring? Well, Ohio State's number 2 in the country, and of course Michigan held them to 23 points. Then they faced the number 18 offense in the country in scoring, Penn State. Then it drops off from there. Not even Purdue and Maryland ranked in the top 58 in the country. And then Michigan faced, again, when you throw in Iowa and Rutgers and Nebraska into that deplorable, awful non-conference schedule, then you have Michigan facing 3, 6, 7 of the bottom 32 offenses in the country. Put it all together, Michigan faced the 88th ranked scoring offense in the country. TCU averaged 40 points per game against their level of competition that we just showed you. What will they score against Michigan? Let's say 31. Michigan scores 35, TCU scores 31. We didn't factor in turnovers. We could do that too, but there's a randomness to turnovers more so than yards gained per play over and over and over. I did think about doing the turnovers. We can look at that at a later date. Your thoughts below on Michigan TCU. Of course, I'm going to have my prediction before the game, and it's not necessarily going to be 35-31 just because we gave an estimate based on the numbers comparison here. Always interesting to look at. Is it meaningful? Yes. Does it mean everything? No. Your thoughts below. Right here, the Voice of College Football. And of course, our Michigan shows every Wednesday at 5 Eastern. We will see you soon.